Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
This has been fucking huge. I've never seen a Vlad tweet get this big.
Yeah. But it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
So can I get some background?
So the tweet's gonna kind of say it all. But basically DJ Vlad basically said a tweet about Tory Lanez' situation. It was a troll tweet as I interpreted it. Mm-hmm. He's basically calling everybody who's skeptical about Tory Lanez's, like, all the suspicions and the conspiracies around the Tory Lanez situation and about Roc Nation and Jay-Z's involvement in it. He's basically calling everybody who believes in that stupid by overly exaggerating a tweet by saying that he was paid to shit on Tory Lanez, blah, 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 blah. I don't believe he was, but I think that he's using this tweet to make fun of everybody who is a Tory Lanez supporter, which is myself. I'm the biggest Tory Lanez supporter that I know. And I know everything about this fucking case where I could break down everything he fucking said. I'm not going to make this about Tory and Meg, this whole fucking shit. Yeah. But we're going to read the tweet and I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it too.
Okay, so should I read the caption? DJ Vlad is trending across social media after viral posts suggested he was paid off by Roc Nation. Oh, this is basically everything that you just said. As the post spread, debate erupted online with some accusing media figures of narrative biases, while others dismissed the claims as internet rumor and satire. So yeah, that's kind of the basis of it, to be honest. I don't really want to read the rest. So we have this here, if you want to read that.
So DJ Vlad tweeted, I have a confession.
Oh my God, I didn't even put it on the fucking screen. I'm a retard.
Producer Rooks.
Ace, you did the month.
I have a confession. Roc Nation has been paying me to support Megan. They also paid off all the jury members to convict Tory. And they bribed the judge too. Jay-Z did a verse for his grandson's new album. They paid off Megan's doctor to lie about the bullet fragments. She was never shot. The LA police are all on Jay's payroll, and it doesn't stop with LA, but you're not ready to hear that part. It says, I have a confession. The Mexican guy who stabbed Tory, who do you think paid him to do that? You already know the answer to that. The 3 Supreme Court judges who denied Tory's appeal, all paid off by the Roc Mafia. Jay also paid Trump not to pardon Tory, even though it's a state case. Trump can only pardon federal cases, but knowing Trump likes to bend the rules, Jay wasn't taking any chances. I can't keep these lies secret anymore. If this is my last tweet, you know who silenced me. I'm seeing news reports that Kelsey's bodyguard came forward and said that Kelsey shot Megan, not Tory Lanez. The only problem is that Kelsey's bodyguard wasn't actually bodyguarding her the night of the shooting. His testimony is based on a conversation he claimed he heard. 98% of appeals fall through. This isn't going to overturn Tory's conviction. If this were actually true, Tory should have taken the stand and said it. Also, the story doesn't match up with the jail call of Tory apologizing to Kelsey. You're an idiot if you think that someone sitting in jail is going to apologize to the person who put them there. And why would the shooter even do a jail call with the person who is being charged with their crime? So yeah, Vlad posted that and it went crazy. Like when I seen it had like 200,000 likes. It had millions of views.
Damn.
It had millions of views on Twitter. Like it was going crazy. On Instagram, I seen post after post. There were all the tweet. Like
it was like back to back.
Every single page was like the Vlad tweet. And I think that like Vlad has a point because all the conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But all the conspiracy theorists hopped on this saying like, look, he admitted it. He admitted it. You see, we were right the whole time. And I think that what Vlad is doing is kind of facetious in a way because it's mixing. It's like calling the extremists extreme, but is invalidating the good points within their argument. In my opinion, because because like if you go back to the tweets to the first page of it. Yeah. So it says, Roc Nation has been paying me to support Megan. That's not a far-fetched claim because ever since the situation came out, Vlad has been anti-Tory the whole entire thing, believes Tory did it, just like has been shitting on Tory the whole entire time. They also paid off all the jury members to convict Tory. I don't agree so, but I do see why people would find that as a plausible thing, considering that I was surprised as fuck. I thought he wasn't going to be found guilty because there was like so much reasonable doubt in that case. He said, and they bribed the judge too. Jay-Z did a verse for his grandson's new album. That's how I knew he was just capping. Like once he said that shit, I'm like, oh yeah, he just capping. Like Jay-Z She barely gives out verses like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the judge was bribed, but you know, the conspiracy around this situation can lead people to think in that direction. They paid off Megan's doctor to lie about the bullet fragment. She was never shot. Well, the reason why we think she was never shot is because Megan said she was never shot when the thing first came down, and at first there was no bullet fragments found in her foot. She said she stepped on glass, and the injuries were consistent with that until later on. Then another doctor did an evaluation and then said that there were bullet fragments also found in her foot. So if there was two different doctors and two different doctors said the same thing, but the courts went with the second doctor, that leaves reasonable explanation for people to think that maybe that she was never shot. I do believe that she was shot though, just not by Tory. It said the LA police are all on Jay's payroll, and it doesn't stop with LA, but you're not ready to hear that part. I don't think that the LA police are on Jay's payroll, but I do think that there's people within the system that have an interest, that do have a mutual interest, a mutual benefit from the success of
the case
of Megan Thee Stallion being successful in this case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all in all, I think that Vlad is mad extra for this. Fam, the man's doing 10 years and got stabbed like what, 14 times, bro?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You're mad at the people for having a reasonable suspicion,
right,
for thinking that he's innocent. First of all, I don't think that Vlad thinks Tory's guilty. I think that Vlad thinks that Tory should have went about a different way about fighting this case. But I don't think that anybody who's been paying attention actually thinks Tory is guilty.
Right.
They just think that he's stupid for not taking the stand. But hey, his own lawyers told him not to take the stand.
Yeah.
So if he's following his lawyer's advice
that he pays millions of dollars,
you know what I'm saying? You know? I don't think that that's a bad thing to not take the stand if that's the case. Second of all, I think Tory was trying to save everybody at the expense of himself. I didn't think that he thought it was going to be at the expense of himself, but he was trying to save everybody, but he could have easily threw Kelsey under the bus because we know Kelsey did it. The thing that I'm sorry if I'm being long-winded because I'm clearly passionate about this case. My biggest problem with this whole Tory Meg situation is we're disregarding what Meg said on the stand. What Meg said on the stand is that Tory shot her because she made fun of him for being short and unsuccessful at music. She said that he got mad, came out of the car while
she said that on the stand?
Yes.
That's fucked.
She said that she was walking away from the car and then he came up from the other side of the car over the hood or the roof to shoot her and said, "Dance, bitch, dance," for no reason. But yet even the eyewitness that was there, they said that there was two females fighting. And then Tory came and disarmed the female with the gun and just started shooting everywhere. That's what he basically said, that the short man came out of nowhere and just disarmed the gun and started shooting everywhere. So given that statement, I understand if you feel like Tory, because of his actions throughout that night, may have led that situation to happening, and that if you feel like the way he fought that case, he deserves to be in jail because he did it arrogantly. But if we want to act like he is guilty of the crime of shooting Megan Thee Stallion, we all know that's not true because nobody's story aligns with Meg's. Not one person. If we take all the stories combined, Meg's story seemed the least likely, and it's like maybe it's not completely proven that she lied on the stand. She was proven lying about fucking Tory Lanez, but at the same time, why would you omit the fight between you and Kelsey? Because then they would have to talk about what you guys were actually fighting about. So if you omit on the stand that you guys got into a physical altercation that was witnessed by the third party and by everybody else, and then when you look at the pictures of them when they were caught that night, there were scratches all on their legs, there were acrylics and hair found at the scene. There was clearly a physical altercation involving females that Megan Thee Stallion did not speak about on the stand. And that's the thing, like when I see academics talk about this, when I see everybody talk about this case, this is the one thing that I find troublesome that nobody brings up. Why is her story so drastically different from everybody else's story, and she omits the fact that there was even a physical fight with Kelsey? I think that, to me, that shows a lot. That says a lot about the case in general, about at least her dishonesty.
Yeah. Big time.
You know, but I'm like, super invested in this case. Free Tory, you already know what it is.
Free Tory.
Tory's my favorite artist.
It's fucked.
But yeah, Vlad
isn't. I know this is a little bit slightly adjacent off topic, but isn't Megan Thee Stallion like not dating Klay Thompson anymore or some shit like that?
She is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's dating him last time I checked.
Oh, I thought they broke up.
I'm rooting on their downfall because I don't want her to be happy.
Super rooting on their downfall.
I don't want her to be happy at all. I fuck with Clay though. But, fuck Meg.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with Meg at all.
Oh, whoops. I forgot this isn't on the screen. So, DJ Vlad admits his post about Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, and Jay-Z were to prove a point.
So that morning, a
And he's
bunch
kinda
of like Daily Loud and a bunch of other like Dama's News, I believe, and a bunch of other like media outlets that I follow
Dom is live.
starts running this video of Tory's lawyers saying that Kelsey's bodyguard has come forward and said that Kelsey's the shooter, not Tory. And everyone's going crazy over this footage. And I'm looking at this going like, this is from last May. This already came out almost a year ago. The appeal went through. And it didn't happen. The appeal was struck down. And so I posed this. I'm like, yo, you're an idiot to think that this is somehow news and that this is somehow going to overturn this. And people in the comments, yeah, but Roc Nation, they bought off the jury. And Roc, it's really Jay-Z. Because remember, Tory's dad, like after Tory was found guilty, went on this whole rant where he was screaming about Roc Nation and Jay-Z in the courtroom and everything else like that. Right? So I said, okay, listen, like this has gotten so stupid at this point that I'm going to just do a tweet where I'm going to take every conspiracy theory around this and just list it one after the other. Yo. I got paid by Roc Nation. Jay-Z paid off the jury, and he paid off the judge and did a verse for the judge's grandson. Right?
Oh, God.
And he paid the Mexican dude to stab Tory in prison. And he paid off the doctor to say that she got shot.
The stabbing thing is not far-fetched at all.
And he paid off everyone else. Like and I'm like, okay, this is so stupid that no one's going to believe this.
So you're saying the internet does what it does best. Twist stuff up, change stuff, conspiracy theories.
So you mean to tell me that Jay-Z,
the way that he's going about this with you mean to tell me that trying to act like all this shit is so far-fetched.
Yeah.
If we were to hear about the things that's going on in the Epstein files right now.
Yeah.
About the elites literally eating people. Literally pedophilia, PDF type shit. All this type of shit going on.
Did you read into it? Like, did you?
This is too much for me. I've seen headlines, but I haven't read into it.
Like, got into, oh, okay.
But if we hear a lot of the Jeffrey Epstein shit, it sounds so far-fetched. If you use that same vernacular that Vlad's talking about, I'm sure we could convince a couple people. So we really believe that this rich guy that we don't even know how he got rich just had his own island and just brought a bunch of little girls there and just he was just a pedo with a bunch of... It sounds far-fetched when you just say it out loud, but it's easy to invalidate somebody when you just try to put it like that, make it sound like it's unrealistic, like it's so far-fetched. And I just think that a lot of the conspiracies around the Tory Lanez thing, I think that are wrong. But then I feel like he's mixing the things that can be actually seen, like Tory Lanez being stabbed in prison. That seemed very I literally thought that was a hit.
Yeah, big facts.
You know what I'm saying? And if that wasn't a hit, I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds realistic. So then when he's using that, they paid for Tory Lanez to get, is that far-fetched, bro?
Yeah, because it's like...
It happens. That actually happens.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, Tory's obviously a very well-known rich man too as well. So it's like, why else would somebody try and go after his life unless they paid them?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I still believe that was a hit. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. That's the one. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that's the one that I'll ride with. I believe that stabbing was a hit, and I feel like that the whole situation isn't benefiting Megan's career whatsoever. And I feel like as long as Tory is alive to still speak, I feel like it's a problem because he's galvanized an audience of people like myself who, is now, against the system of Roc Nation and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, let's finish this video here.
Where he is in life right now, right? He's a billionaire. He's considered one of the greatest ever. He's going to risk all that to pay a pedophile, a Mexican pedophile, to do a murder in prison over a guy with who's antagonizing an artist that's not even a big priority to Jay-Z. So that morning, a bunch of Daily Loud and a bunch of
right? Yeah.
About that, I don't think that first of all, the guy who stabbed Tory Lanez, the reason why he's calling him a pedo is because he went to jail for shooting his, I think 12-year-old girlfriend in the head with a shotgun or
holy smokes,
some crazy shit like that. The guy who stabbed Tory. So he's in jail for life anyways.
Yeah.
I think that is very disingenuous when they're trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, he would do this and he would do that. I don't think it's Jay-Z. The brand Roc Nation is Jay-Z's brand, but I don't think that Jay-Z's the one calling the shots behind all this little hip hop shit. I don't think that I feel like he's sitting back and there's like a general manager is making the moves, but it's not the owner. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I feel like Desiree Perez is the one who's making the moves on behalf of Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
I don't feel like that is Jay-Z. I feel like he may have some say in some things. I feel like he may be aware, but I feel like his name is more namesake and saying like, yeah, Jay-Z is doing this. It just holds more weight. But I think that it's more Roc Nation is doing this, and one of the CEOs of Roc Nation is Desiree Perez, who also has a history of working with the cartel, and she snitched on the cartel.
It's like losing your job at Amazon and saying Jeff Bezos fired me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're blaming Jeff Bezos when it might just be like the supervisor who's a piece
It
of
might
shit.
just be Susan.
You know what I'm saying? Facts, but like, yeah, free Tory. I'm not gonna say fuck Vlad because I rock with Vlad, but Vlad, you're tripping. You need to do better.
I think part of what you're saying too, like about how like it's disingenuous, is kind of parallel it. Like as a parallel to like a lot of the content that I consume, which is fitness stuff. So there's something called like a fake natural. So basically, people who would claim that they got to their position naturally and they're not
Like Meg Thee Stallion's body.
Yeah, some shit like that, right? So it's like
She got lipo.
so it'd be like, oh, believe me, I'm natural. Why would I lie? Why would I lie? That seems so far fetched. Why would I lie about it? I have nothing to gain from lying about it. In this
Why would I lie is the biggest liar statement
Exactly.
ever created ever. Or the I have no reason to lie.
Yeah, it's like,
Biggest liar statement.
why would
ever.
Roc Nation want to pay them off? Oh, why would they want to do that?
The only people who I know who are not on Tory's side when it comes to this, well, the thing is that I think that Tory should have snitched, so I'm not too mad about him being in jail because nigga, you care too much.
Sometimes
and now everybody's a snitch. Nobody even cares anymore. So it's like your music is good enough. You would have done better than Gunna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you decided to care too much about the snitching thing and you wanted to save the women and all this type of shit. And those women did not give a fuck about saving you whatsoever. So that's where it's like, okay, if Tory's in jail, Tory's in jail. I don't like the narrative around like when he went to jail, it was around he hates black women. He shoots black women. That's why he did this. That's why he released his album on Breonna Taylor's trial date, all this different type of shit. Everything came down to him hating black women. When in reality, he was protecting a black woman from another black woman. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear it.
They don't wanna hear
him
it.
being in jail, whether like the whole thing is like, oh yeah, you think that the Supreme Court judges, all these people who denied the appeals don't think blah, 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 blah. All that does not matter, bro. OJ beat a fucking murder. We know he did that shit. There's so much people who get off with crimes where we know they did that shit.
Yeah,
You know,
facts.
it's hard for them to prove YNW Melly right now, but we know he did that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
So it is
Yeah.
what it is. Like, I'm not going to use the legal system as a justification.
Yeah, that's actually
As
the
like-
dumbest thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's people, like, look at the Central Park 5. They spent like fucking 20 years in fucking prison over something that they didn't do, and it happens all the time. So how are we
Yeah.
going to use the legal system as a justification for innocence? It's
Yeah.
not like, you know, so
Like
I
even with the Epstein files, there's so much evidence that there was a bunch of niggas that people are, you know, aware of that were involved in that stuff, but they're still walking around because the legal system didn't fucking
Exactly.
prosecute them. So therefore they didn't do it.
You chat too much. Chat too much. Chat too much. Chat too much.